As Pakistan's recent general elections drew near, Imran Khan was riding a tidal wave of popular support. But could the former cricket star really challenge the status quo? Or would his tsunami founder at the last moment? People in power went behind the scenes to find out.
May 2013, and the streets of Pakistan echoed with a new sound. Louder than rickshaws and even bomb blasts, new voices were making themselves heard. Pakistanis were about to vote in the country's first fully democratic handover of power. Among them, these supporters of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, or PTI, the political party led by Imran Khan. In the run-up to polling day, the former cricket star was riding a wave of support so strong he called it the tsunami. And these rock concert-like rallies had become key to Khan's campaign. His huge, highly enthusiastic movement reflected a widespread desire for change. What was soon to be decided was whether this passion was enough to change the status quo. One year ago, people in power filmed with Imran Khan as his party gained momentum. For 2 weeks, we followed him to places so remote that few major politicians would bother to visit. As enthusiasm gathered pace, we saw him painstakingly assemble a coalition of diverse interests ready to take on the government.
The polling process है, अगर वो ठीक ना किया, तो अगलों ने तो इसको उछाल देना है, हमारे सारी election की credibility खत्म करके रख देनी है.
But Khan had no illusions about the scale of the task ahead.
To set up a party is not easy. To set up a party in an entrenched two-party system is even more difficult. And then to take on the entire political class is even more difficult.
With the long-awaited elections only 8 days away, we returned to Pakistan to follow Khan's team and supporters through the final frenetic days. Hopping from rally to rally by helicopter, Khan was now staging 5 or more events a day. The man behind the microphone is Faisal Javed Khan. As the PTI's rally compare, his role was to become even more important as the election drew near. So far, over 60 people had been killed in election-related violence. Imran himself had received death threats, yet he insisted on staying close to the crowds.
Police! Police!
While Khan travelled by air, his team on the ground was struggling to keep up. What's it like trying to chase the helicopter?
Well, that's really a big pain, you see. What we do is we skip places in between because, you know, we can't really chase heli. It's kind of very tough schedule, but time is short. 11th May is not that far, so, well, you had to really go for this. Imran Khan is the only leader who is going in every corner of Pakistan. He's visiting all areas. It's not like he's having one big jalsa and getting all other people there. He's visiting people, he's in direct contact with people, I think, which is a great strategy.
next day, Imran flew to Narowal, a town in the Punjab, Pakistan's most populous province. Over half the national seats are in the Punjab, so winning places like this was essential. Wherever Khan travelled, his celebrity pulled in passionate crowds. Even here in Narowal, a stronghold of his main rival, Mian Nawaz Sharif, leader of the PMLN party. They've ruled the province 5 times. Two days later, and the PMLN were preparing their own rally in Narowal. Nawaz Sharif is known as the Tiger of the Punjab, hence his party's election symbol. His local candidate was Ehsan Iqbal. As the crowds awaited the arrival of Nawaz Sharif, Ehsan travelled to a makeshift landing field. Like Khan, Sharif was doing the rounds by helicopter. But unlike his opponent, Sharif didn't make it to Narowal. He got caught up at a previous rally. While the PMLN had a strong foothold in rural Punjab, in cities like Islamabad, Khan's PTI were banking on support from young urbanites, hopeful for change.
Pakistan is in a situation where we have almost touched the bottom of our history, and we are in a very bad crisis. And economy, we are touching the bottom side.
I believe that maybe Imran Khan won't sweep out and become Prime Minister, but he can make a very strong opposition and he won't let government go in the wrong direction.
The PTI inspired volunteers from all classes. For many, it was a first taste of grassroots politics.
We believe that this is a turning point for the country. And we are investing this time for ourselves, for our generations. I don't think most of us, we've been going to work in the last couple of days.
Ayla and Noman were canvassing for support from non-Muslims.
This is a smaller locality in Rawalpindi, and we are going to meet people from a small Christian community and ask them their preference for vote.
हम इसलिए वोट मुस्लिम लीग नून के साथ हैं क्योंकि वो हमारी कॉलोनी के साथ हमारे लोगों के साथ बहुत अच्छे हैं।
अगर ये वादे किए और अगर आप इन्हीं वादों वाले लोगों के पीछे दोबारा चलेंगे तो अगले 5, 10 साल, 20 साल में भी ये आपको इसी लेवल पे रखेंगे। हम ये नहीं चाहते, आपके और हमारे में कोई फर्क नहीं है। आप लोग पाकिस्तान हैं, हम लोग पाकिस्तान हैं।
While the grassroots supporters worked under their own steam, Imran's roadshow hurtled on. With only 5 days to polling day, Faisal was headed for Multan, one of the Punjab's largest cities.
We're not worried about sleeping these days. We're going through sleepless nights, and we're leaving our jobs, we're leaving everything, families, everything. So we must deliver. Last time when we went to elections was way back, 11 years back. Many things have changed. Dramatic changes in the electoral list. 40 million new voters.
Most of those new voters were aged under 35. The challenge was to mobilize them. After years of practice, Faisal had it down to a fine art.
और यहाँ कितने नौजवान हैं?
4 days out from the election, Khan planned to hit Lahore with 8 separate rallies around the city in one night. Gathering supporters and creating hype for the evening's events was the job of the PTI's social media team. Suleiman Ali Khan left his job in Finland, volunteering his time for the PTI campaign. His job that night was to make sure all the rallies were covered.
The key obstacle is that Khan is moving extremely fast in all of them. Yeah, and he's got some protocol at least, and we have difficulties in moving around. So therefore, we have to split into multiple teams and organize who goes where. So we've been like covering almost 100 jalsas in the last 15 days, so we're used to it now.
Twitter and Facebook weren't the only tools to gather support. The team was determined to reach everybody with a mobile phone.
We have a telephony, so we can send SMS to thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people all over Pakistan based on their locality. And I think what's important is that all these events that you're seeing, people are coming out on one SMS.
पाकिस्तान की आन, पाकिस्तान की शान। कौन बचाएगा पाकिस्तान? एक सुनामी, एक तूफान। पाकिस्तान
As the Lahore Rally Marathon got underway, Faisal's plan was to meet Khan at the second of the night's 8 scheduled venues. He got there early to warm up the crowd and walk through the candidates' route up to the stage. Lahore is the capital of the Punjab, and here, the race between the PTI and the PMLN was becoming too close to call. These rallies would be hugely significant. By 8 p.m, Khan should have arrived. It looked like he was late. Then people started to receive SMS messages. They said that Khan had had an accident at the previous rally. Everyone hoped it was a hoax. Finally, Faisal got confirmation there had been an accident.
He was supposed to come here, but he has gone to the hospital. But we're hearing that it's a minor thing. It's going to be okay soon. He's going to join us in a while.
Faisal got another call. It now seemed Khan's injuries were a lot more serious.
बताओ ना।
जरा जल्दी जाएं, हॉस्पिटल।
Khan's injuries were much worse than initially reported. Damage to his spine the biggest fear. Ascending to the rally stage on a forklift, he'd fallen from a height of 5 meters. The accident could have cost Khan his life. Later that evening, doctors declared that Khan was out of danger, though in much pain from 3 fractured vertebrae. Remarkably, only hours after the accident, he addressed the nation from his hospital bed.
मैंने अपनी जिंदगी के पाकिस्तान के लिए लड़ा हूं। जो मैं कर सकता था मैंने किया है। अब मैं चाहता हूं कि आप अपनी जिम्मेदारी लें। अपनी तकदीर बदलना चाहते हैं, आपको जिम्मेदारी लेनी पड़ेगी।
Khan's team followed up on the message.
The idea should be tell them to take this message, own it, and say now he's on the bed.
Yes, take this clip here. We need to work on each part of this.
Are you willing to now take on that responsibility?
Right.
That should be your theme now.
Right. We will win this election. Nothing can stop us now. We are not trying anymore. We are hard, we are fast, we are going to the national campaign center. We are not sitting here with Imran Khan. We will win this election for Imran Khan. We'll do it.
Although Khan's condition was now stable, his campaign team feared that he wouldn't be able to lead the final crucial days. Their last and most important rally was just 2 days away in Islamabad. A low turnout would be a disaster. the social media team got straight to work.
I am
Khan. Yes,
Now we are focusing on one message. I am Khan and I will make a Naya Pakistan. That's what we do. 18 crore peoples. That's 180 million people in Pakistan. They will speak this message. They will become Khan and they will make a Naya Pakistan. That's what we spread.
The night before the final rally, Faisal travelled from Lahore to Islamabad. With Imran still in hospital, a lot now rested on Faisal's shoulders.
I'm not gonna sleep tonight. I'm not sure whether I'll get some sleep tomorrow morning as well, because there's very less time and there's more to do.
Faisal arrived in Islamabad early on Thursday morning. This was the day all campaigning was legally required to end. So the rally that evening would be the PTI's last shot at gaining support. The plan was to project Imran's final speech live from his hospital bed.
We'll have about 2 big screens, 3 medium-sized screens, LEDs, and 4 projection screens.
At a stage?
Yeah.
How are people going to get up there?
Stairs. Not the way the chairman went up there.
The team worked through the night, unsure if anyone would turn up to an event without its star attraction.
Kaun bachayega Pakistan? Imran Khan, Imran Khan.
The rally was scheduled for 7 p.m. No one knew what the turnout would be like. But by late afternoon, Islamabad began to turn red and green.
Pakistan ki aun, Pakistan ki shaan, Imran Khan.
Faisal, मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
जी जी आ रही है।
जितनी ज्यादा मुझे दुआएं और लोगों ने मेरी नमाज को सीखी है, सबसे पहले दिल से शुक्रिया। रिश्तेदारियां बैठे नजरी को वोट डाले, चेंज को वोट डाले। हम इस वक्त परसों शाम को शुक्राने के नफल पा रहे होंगे।
2 days later, in Pakistan's leafy capital, polls opened at 8 a.m. The run-up to this election had been bloody, but from here in Islamabad, the violence seemed distant as Faisal went to cast his vote.
I'm gonna put stamp on the bat, of course.
By evening, the election count was well underway. It showed a 55% turnout, a historic high for Pakistan. Very soon it became clear that the PMLN were well ahead. Nawaz Sharif had been chosen to lead the country. But the PTI had won enough seats to form local government in the province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. That night, the PTI supporters digested their party's performance.
In Imran Khan we believe because he's our hope.
After travelling so far, Imran Khan's tsunami had clearly lost some of its impetus. It couldn't wash away the people's economic fears, nor drown the status quo. And it's unclear if Khan's dramatic accident had influenced voters. But the PTI will take on a new role as the opposition, and Faisal will be back on his mic.
We'll form the government in KP for sure, as the results are predicting that. And we will set an example there. Inshallah, Pakistan will progress. And in next elections, we will form the government in center as well. From zero to here, I mean, this really is an amazing achievement.